Hey there, Michael Griffiths here, founder of Referral Marketing Guru, and welcome to this week's Get More Referrals Today podcast. I want to talk about chemicalizing our communication. It's one of the profit accelerators we talk about in that limbic advantage. And it's like, why? Why do you need to chemicalize your communication? Why do you even need to think about it? What does it do when you actually get this right? Well, in essence, we're communicating all the time, aren't we? Email, voicemail, social media messages, text messages. It's nonstop. So the way you communicate, you would think that we'd actually want to spend some time and consciously think about what am I actually doing with this piece of communication. And unfortunately, most of the time we just don't. Most of the time we don't think about it from how will this make the other person feel. We think about it from our own perspective. And it's because we're so used to doing that. Very rarely do we actually consciously think, okay, this piece of communication, what's the result? What's the emotion? What's the outcome it's likely to receive at the other end? Because when you start actually thinking like that, well, you'd probably end up changing a whole bunch of your communication because it's probably not actually going to achieve the outcome you want. So let's just use this as a bit of an example. I woken up this morning and there's this email sitting there. And on this email, it's someone sending an email. I actually know who the person is, but I also know that it wasn't them that sent it. They just got a VA or they got someone to pretty much copy and paste and send a message. So it starts off with, "Hi, referral guru." It doesn't even use our name. So straight away, that's like flag, you're not writing this to me. It's copy and paste. So I get that that saves time. I get that now you can outsource that and get someone else to do it, and you're trying to make it as easy possible for them. And in the end, you're hoping that you're just playing a numbers game. But if you actually thought about it and you went, okay, by sending this, what emotion am I creating on the person? So if you get a copy and paste message, how does it make you feel? Well, you certainly don't feel special. You certainly don't feel like they're just speaking to you. You sort of go, well, if you can't actually even be bothered doing this properly, why should I respond to you? What else can't you be bothered properly? How on earth can I trust you to be able to work with you? And the list goes on and on and on. Now, they are all possibilities, and they're also none of them are possibilities. But that's the thing with this is most of the time we don't actually think about what effect is this going to have on the other person. Because in essence, it's the other person doing the thing that you want that allows you to achieve the outcome and result of why you were communicating in the first place. So you can start to see every single thing you do actually brings you forward or takes you backwards. One which we'll see every single day, and you probably do it every day yourself, is when you comment on social media posts. You might have something pop up, and most of the time you comment to make yourself look good, or to prove a point, or to make sure that everyone knows how good you are at something. How does that make the other person feel? The person's post that you're actually commenting back on. So, what was your intention? And are you thinking about that intention and being able to go, you know what? It's actually got nothing to do with me. I just want to make that other person feel good. So therefore, that's what I'm going to do. Let's use this as an example. Let's say that someone makes a post, and maybe it's them out at an event, and they take a picture with someone who they is a bit of a celebrity to them. Okay, so let's just picture that. Someone's at an event. Let's say they've gone to a Richard Branson event, and they get a picture with themselves and Richard, and you can see that they are so proud to be in there. Now, there's a whole bunch of ways that you could comment on that. You could go, "What an amazing picture! I hope you had a great time." What's that going to do to them? It's going to make them feel pretty good and pretty proud of that particular moment. You could go, "Oh, what an amazing picture! Hope you had a fantastic time. How was Richard?" And they could share that experience. Or you could go, oh, I was at that event. It was a great time. I did, and make it I focused and take away from their moment. You can see they're all going to create a different feeling in the other person. Now, anything to do with business is simply about how you make someone else feel. It is that simple. But the reason we don't do it well is because we don't consciously actually think how to do that. I mean, just imagine if every single thing in your business you consciously thought, you strategically sat there and went, okay, how could I influence this in a positive way? And every business did that, trying to just influence in positive ways. How much better would business be? And that's why businesses that can do this, they stand out from their marketplace. Everyone talks about them because they're so different. I'm going to use this as an example. We're away for the weekend. Got to the hotel. We were there early. I knew a room wasn't going to be ready. That's absolutely fine. I've got some different meetings. So I'm planning out where will I go to be able to do those meetings. There's one where I need no noise whatsoever, and I sort of need a bit of a dull backdrop. The others didn't really matter so much. So I walk up, I say hello, I go, here I am. Know that a room's probably not going to be ready because it's 8:30 in the morning. Just seeing if there's any indication that I can get what time maybe. Well, check-in's at 3, so it'll be before 3. Now, I get it's 8:30 in the morning. I get they've probably had a whole bunch of stuff that's already happened this morning. But you think that if that's your response, how do you think that's going to make the other person feel? Now, see, I'm looking out for this all the time. So I take this to the nth degree in terms of being able to pick up on this sort of stuff. Verse, I just walked away. Thank you very much. And when I went back 90 minutes, I made sure we got a completely different person. And the way they handled it was just chalk and cheese. Exactly the same request, but the response was completely different. So therefore, they didn't end up shooting themselves completely in the foot just because of the first person. See, how often during the day are you actually doing that without even realizing you're being the first person? You're actually creating emotions in people which get them to be pissed off at you. That's not going to help your business. And yet, we do that every single day without realizing. You don't know how many opportunities you miss simply because you're not thinking about strategically chemicalizing your communication. And again, you're communicating all the time. I'm communicating with you right now. Now, there's a little bit different, but sure, I want you to feel great about what we're talking about. I want you to be able to go and smash this out of the park. I want your business to be able to stand out. I want people to rant and rave about how amazing you are. So if you could take one or two things from here and go and do it and make your business a little bit more chemicalized, then that's exactly what I want. That should hopefully make you feel better, which then deepens our bond. See how it all just comes in. But most of the time, we don't actually think about that in a conscious way. And that's the big thing that we're going to be able to change. So if you just picked one element of your communication, it might be your email signature, it might be your voicemail message, it might be an email you're about to write, it might be a social media post that you're about to comment on, it could be a messenger that you're about to send. It doesn't matter. Focus on your next lot of communication and focus by simply saying, oh, what? How do I want this person to feel? When I do this thin communication, how do I want this person to feel? There's this great example when I go to the gym, and they've only recently done this, but I noticed it instantly because you drive up into this car park, and it's an underground, big sort of warehouse shed car park. And what they've done is they've put up a projector, and the projector goes up against the grey wall as such, and it just says "Hello, gorgeous." And that's how they interact. Whenever you book a class, the email starts off with, "Hello, gorgeous." In the locker rooms, if something's out of order, they'll go, "Hello, gorgeous. We're really sorry we're broken at the moment, but we're going to get ourselves fixed as quickly as possible." That's their theme. That's their brand. So when you come up into the gym, this big white "Hello, gorgeous" faces you. How would that make you feel? Like straight away, it's a little bit warm and fuzzy. It's like, oh, this is my home. I'm back again. See, consciously, strategically looking to be able to influence how someone feels about you and your business. And that's what whole limbic advantage is all about. Because there are so many different ways. And when I go so many, I literally mean thousands. There are thousands of ways that you could limbic your business that extra 1 or 2%. And you can start to see getting referrals is not hard when you are like that. Clients wanting to stay with you and being able to increase the lifetime value isn't hard when you are like that. Ensuring that people talk about you. Now, I could tell a story of we had this reception when we first got to the hotel, or I can tell the story of the second person and the reception that they gave. One paints an unbelievable great picture for that hotel, and the other one ensures that probably people aren't going to book there. They're only 90 minutes apart. And unfortunately, the hotel doesn't have any control over that. They were individuals that in that moment did not think about, do you know what? We're in hospitality. My job's to be able to make that other person feel great. Now maybe they couldn't have helped us. Maybe they couldn't have told us a time, and that's absolutely fine. But it's how you go about it. It's when you actually think about going, you know what? How do I actually want this person to feel at the end of our communication? And when you start doing that, and when you start focusing on those sorts of things, all of a sudden you're going to do little 1%ers that make your business more magical, that make your business more extraordinary, that take your business to levels where people want to be around you and share you and talk about you. So why is this actually so hard for people? It's simply because you've been given a survival brain. That 2 million-year-old piece of clockwork that you've got there that teaches you how to, or tells you how to go about your day every single day. Tells you exactly what to do to be able to survive the day, to make sure that you've got food, to make sure that you've got shelter, to make sure that you've got connection, to make sure that you've got all the things that you need to be able to survive. And therefore, we live in that part of the brain over and over and over and again throughout our day. That's why people find this so hard to do. So what is actually the solution? You've got to just start getting yourself out of that brain as often as you can. You've got to start seeing what other businesses are doing that make you feel a particular way. And then go, you know what? How might I do that? What might I be able to do for that? It's not hard to take your business to stand out, to make people feel something, to chemicalize your communication in a way that you strategically influence the outcome the majority of the time. Hopefully that's been super helpful. Yeah, if you've got a business person that you know, a service professional that you know, make sure you share this to them, because you, by doing that, are helping them make their business just that little bit more magical. Till next time, take care. Have an amazing week. I'll talk to you real soon. Take care, guys.